Donald Trump has long said that he'd like a missile defense system similar to Israel's Iron Dome.
In the campaign, I promised the American people that I would build a cutting-edge missile defense shield to protect our homeland from the threat of foreign missile attack.
The U.S. president has announced his plans to make a Golden Dome missile defense system that would defend the U.S. from missiles both from land and that come from space. But there are certain countries who are not too happy about this, and others think that it's a great idea, and they want in. We're going to get into all of this, but first off, what is a Golden Dome missile defense system?
Klaxons wail across a quiet neighborhood as a nearby fenced-off hill lined with barbed wire and armed guards suddenly erupts to life. The ground trembles and missile silo doors slide open, revealing 30-foot-long interceptors locked and loaded. Then a blast of fire and thunder as the missiles scream into the sky, turning into fiery comets within seconds. Across the nation, in every major city, silo doors yawn open, unleashing dozens of interceptors in a desperate bid to stop the incoming attack. The country is under siege, and the Iron Dome system is the only shield standing between survival and annihilation. But this isn't Israel. This is America. The America of tomorrow.
So the first thing that I want to talk about is the countries who are not happy with the U.S. for talking about building this Golden Dome missile defense system, and that would be China, North Korea, and Russia.
Beijing warned the U.S. newly announced Golden Dome anti-missile defense system could spark a destabilizing arms race in space, urging Washington to abandon its developments and deployments.
Newsflash, you guys, the ops don't want us to be able to defend ourselves. Which is crazy that they would even say that out loud. That's all the justification and reason to build this thing that I need personally. Like, if anything else, that tells me green light, go, let's make this shit happen. If you are developing a way to defend yourself and your opposition is like, hey, we don't do that. We don't like that you're doing that. You know that you're on the right track. Prove me wrong on that. There's not a single logical argument that would state that that's not a fact. So let's talk a little bit about the countries that are actually stoked on this, because they're the ones that are attached to us. Canada wants in.
President Donald Trump is offering Canada protection under his proposed Golden Dome missile defense system.
But there's a catch. Pay for that protection, or it could be free if they become the next U.S. state.
And in fact, today it was announced, at least by Trump, so take that for whatever grain of salt you need to, that Canada is actually kind of considering and mulling the idea of attaching itself further to the U.S. to get in on this action of the Golden Dome. They're talking about, maybe being a 51st state wouldn't be so damn bad if it was an insurance policy to make sure that nobody can nuke us. They can't nuke us from land. They can't nuke us from space. So who else is into this idea? Who else likes the idea of America being able to defend itself? Well, it turns out it's Mexico, another country that is directly attached to us. Now, this would be us taking care of the entire North American continent right here and making sure that the opposition can't flame any of us from any side. Now, we would also need to talk about the fact that it's not just people from other countries who don't want us to have this defense system. Because, of course, if Donald Trump comes up with an idea, the left is going to fight it tooth and nail, whether it would save our lives, whether it would feed the homeless, whether it would cure cancer or not. They're going to get all up their own butts about it. So there are people within our own country who've long accused Donald Trump of being in China's pocket or being in Russia's pocket. And now that he's going through with this and they're mad at him, these people are still like, no, don't do it. That's just some crazy work, my guy. Then there's other people who think this is impossible. We can't do this. Well, I hate to break this to you. We got this idea. We stole this idea from a very functional dome over Israel. The Iron Dome in Israel is very functional. Now, this is going to be over a much larger land mass. So it's going to take a lot more. It's going to be a lot more work. There's going to be a lot more entailed. But I think if anybody can do it, USA, the USA can. Then there's other basement dwelling couch humpers who say that this is just excessive. And they're the ones that complain and bitch about everything that we try to do for national security. I would like to make a proposal to y'all. Shut up. Shut your mouth, because you're stupid. It's giving ignorant. Like, if there are people who have top government clearances who think that there are threats, credible threats, and they want to defend our country from that, Maybe they know more than you dumbass pussy. Go back to flipping burgers and put fries in the bag. That's your function. Their function that the American people voted to hire them for is to keep our country safe. And they know more than you do or ever will. They're never going to tell the American people about credible threats unless something has already happened. The majority of shit that goes down, we probably will never even hear about anyway. So they have credible threats, and that's what they're addressing. So they say we need a Golden Dome. I'm going to roll with the Golden Dome. It's better to have one and not need it than need it and not have it, my guy. You ever hear that saying? Well, it's true. These are also the same people who are super pissed off at the idea that it's not safe to have millions of just undocumented people that we don't know who they are, where they came from, who they're affiliated with in our country, the most hated country in the world. People hate us. Why do they hate us? Because we've done horrific shit all around the globe, man. We have created atrocities. We have been a greedy asshole, and we have done so with extreme violence. Now, do I agree with the things that our government has done? No. Do I want my whole family flamed because of it? Also, no. So if they're saying that there's people that we need to get out of the country, anyone that we haven't identified, that we haven't documented, do what you need to do, homie. Because I want my community safe. I want the little chitlins running around on the playgrounds to be safe. I want my kids to be able to grow up and have kids, and those kids to be able to have kids, homie. You know what I'm saying? Now, I am not a Republican or a Democrat. And a lot of people get that confused because I often flame Democrats. And when I'm flaming Democrats, I'm not flaming like the normal people that are Democrats, who grew up Democrats, who, like, when the Democratic Party used to be a thing of logic and reason and kindness and compassion, because I get all of that. I've leaned that direction back when that direction made sense, but now they've become something the complete antithesis of all of those things. And it seems to me like the people that are actually in power in their party want to see the downfall of our country, because what they're doing makes absolutely no sense. It just doesn't. I definitely don't always agree with Republicans, but it seems lately like they've at least been able to conjure a little bit of common sense and put things into play that might actually keep our country safe. I will never be a part of any political party. I don't worship the help, dog. These politicians are not our friends, and they're not here to save us. They're here to line their pockets. But there are some policies from both sides that I will support. And when it comes to strengthening our military and strengthening our defenses for our homeland security, I will always be on board with that, because I want my kids to grow up in a country that's safe. But I'm genuinely interested to hear what all y'all think about this Golden Dome idea. Do you think that it's crazy? Do you think that it's worth trying? Do you think it's good to have one? Do you want to get nuked? Let me know down in the comments, and I appreciate each and every one of you. Until the next one, one love, baby. Be good.